Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NatiCast. And now to your hosts, Tim Barker, Rex Stull, and Ron Thomas.
Rex is frozen.
I think I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh, Jesus.
Cool.
Wow, dude. You were really, that was solid stillness.
I was riveted by Ron being seduced into the AI world.
It's been kicking and screaming, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my view, there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it except try to use it in a way that is beneficial.
Yeah, the genie's out of the bottle. There's no
Right.
putting that back. But for me, I don't know if you heard this, Rex, but the play that the subject matter in dealing with is this, this Chat GPT bot, where the people, there's been articles written where humans have fallen in love with their AI. It's small dances like that, but like, what is am I the idiot because I'm not jumping in the waters, or like it's like we're being forced. It's the whole off the grid, embracing technology. I don't know, man.
Well, so for me, this is because I'm with you. I mean, I'm constantly battling this, and on the one hand, I would like to think I could move through the world with a flip phone if I was going to have a phone. But
you wouldn't be able to take the subway in New York.
There you go. And that's the simple fact is that, I think using the phone, the way, or at least this is for me, the way I use it is I use it for mapping. I like to listen to podcasts, so I listen to my podcasts on it. I have my music on it when I travel. So I have maps, I have music, I've got boarding passes.
Yeah.
I can make my travel arrangements. I can answer some emails. We can have our little group texts and things like that. All things that I enjoy. What I have never participated in is, like I said, social media, because I just really feel like people conflate the phone and the usage together with social media, doom scrolling and all that kind of.
Right.
I just don't do it. I mean, I will read newspapers online just because it's easier when I'm traveling and I get my subscriptions electronically, but I just don't do that other stuff. And I kind of have been trying to take the same approach with AI. You can use AI like you would use a Google search, a more sophisticated Google search. I know people have used it to proofread their writing. But for me, what I would do is I'd write something first, and I haven't done this, but I'd at least write something first and then stick it in there and look for improvements like a advanced spell check or something,
Sure.
That could maybe serve some functions like that. But I don't have a Chat GPT subscription or anything like that personally. So
yeah, man.
And for me, it also would be business versus personal related. I mean, I have made it a point over the past year, and I've been loving it. Our little local library branch, because I had taken to reading. I had a Kindle and my iPad, and when you travel, it's easy. You have an ebook. I like to read books, but I was reading them on Kindles or on my iPad. I was like, I miss having a physical book in my hand. So I updated my library subscription. I'm not reading the great works of art or anything, but I used to go to airports and buy, whatever, a Jack Reacher book or a Tom Clancy book and, read it on the airplane, just some sort of thing to, pass the time.
You're not lugging the Iliad with you to
exactly.
Germany.
And then leave them, I would just pitch them in whatever, hotel I was at when I was done. So scattered the world with paperbacks. But I've been checking books out of the library, and like right now I'm reading through the whole series of Bosch. The character Bosch. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh yeah. There's a series on
Detective, and there's a
Amazon.
series. There's a series on now. But anyway, there might be probably like 20 or 25 books. I've read quite a few of them, never in order.
Yeah.
Whatever was on the stand, and so I've just kind of gone back and just reading them, checking them out. So I've been making a point to have physical books to read. And I have
That's
to say,
awesome.
I enjoy it so much more than staring at that screen or the iPad.
Sure.
And I think the other thing, too, is it's not, even without social media and things like that, the text message comes in or the email pops up. If that thing is on like that, versus if you have your book, you can just leave it. So that's how I've tried to go about it. I don't know that there's a right answer, but I don't think it makes anybody happier. I don't think anybody feels more fulfilled when their life is.
Well, you talk to some of these people that are in love with their,
yeah.
And they feel fulfilled. They feel, the interesting thing about it is it takes problem solving or difficult, relationships take work, You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. When it comes to this kind of stuff, that's all kind of removed. Everything is, there's not issues to resolve.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Part of the reason, I do know what you mean, and part of the reason why, people talk about these AI models, lying, and not even in the relationship situation where it makes up whatever facts or makes up things to complete a narrative. And part of it is they have built into these models a bit, like a bit of effectively like narcissism or being sycophantic to the person who's using them, because it gets the person coming back, right? Which is, I think, what leads to, I know people are jumping over whatever little guardrails are supposed to put up to keep you from being able to fall in love with your bot, but people have shown very hard it's pretty easy to get your bot to do a lot of things, fall in love with, talk to you a certain way,
Sure.
Whatever it is, or hate speech, it can do all sorts of things with those things. But it's the fact that, to your point, it's this kind of being, sycophantic about how it talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that it is sure, I'm sure that's, great for a little while,
Right.
Hey, Tim, you're the best looking guy I've ever seen, whatever that is, but it's not true.
Damn.
Right?
That changed quick.
But the thing of it is, TB, is you need Tracy to tell you that she loves the way you look, but also remind you occasionally that you're not the best looking guy in the world.
Right. Well,
that's okay.
I need to bathe,
We all need, exactly. We all need that
brush
sort
my
of,
teeth, maybe.
Yes. Keep
change.
you honest.
But, also on that same measure, it's a two-way street. It's listening, the same,
of course,
back and forth, in that regard. But it's just, I don't know. It's not my jam. And I don't, it's kind of bizarre to me. The NatiCast is proud to have the support of the National Alumni Association of the Cincinnati School for Creative and Performing Arts. I am a proud alumnus of SCPA, class of 1986, as are my co-hosts Rex and Ron. If you have listened to our past episodes, you will hear the stories of other alumni and faculty who have shared their amazing stories of how the school impacted their lives. The SCPA Alumni Association is looking to reconnect classmates from over the past 50 years and help to continue to find ways to improve educational opportunities for current SCPA students. From the Dare to Dream scholarships to simply spreading the word on class reunions, support for the association will go a long way in connecting the amazing community that is the SCPA family. Your annual membership fee of $40 will help support everything from the association's daily operations to alumni event programming. Membership dues for recent SCPA graduates are waived for the first 18 months. Visit us at scpaalumni.org to become a member, donate, or find other ways to get involved. Please don't forget to check out the official store for all your SCPA merch. Again, that's scpaalumni.org. And remember, as we celebrate the me yet to come, in time, we will all be stars. And now, back to the show.
Well,
I can't imagine setting something like that. To me, it's a tool. Okay, what's the weather going to be?
Right.
Set an alarm, wake me up in the morning, that sort of stuff. Turn this light on, turn the TV on. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
And that's as far. Oh, start my car. I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
You know. And
Ron does like the
that's
start your car function. I have
I love it.
strolled in past of his car preheating out there.
That's always been his middle name. Ron, start my car.
That's right.
But
Take
that's
me
as
home.
far as it goes. Yeah.
Ron, take me
Thomas.
home, Thomas.
Yeah.
Car's running outside. But maybe that means we're old. But I have to say, I think that there's going to be a lot of I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of currency down the road given to not tucking into it. I just believe that people are, as they have learned with all of this technology as it's permeated our lives, it's hard to believe that the iPhone is still not 20 years old. It's not even been with us 20 years. 2007 it was released. So it turned 19 this year. The very first iPhone, which is really the very first screen. And forget BlackBerries and whatever emails. Right. I mean, it's the screen that really came to life. And I don't think that they were really wide. I mean, you had to be, dropping some bank to be one of the early adopters of that. So
now,
really, what are we talking?
When that came out? Were you as in a technical?
No.
Technology? No. Okay.
I was not an early adopter. I did have a BlackBerry that I rolled around with in my little holster. I quick draw McGraw with my.
Yep.
But I was not quick. I was one of those people that partly because I didn't like the idea of typing on a screen. I used it for email. I didn't like the idea of typing on a screen. So I was old even when I wasn't.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't remember when I
your
made
ass
it to
was
the
old in
iPhone.
high school, man. But that's more of a sage, You were
you
were a sage. How are we feeling about our red legs in 2026?
Oh boy. Well,
I get asked that question. I say, I'm sheepishly optimistic.
I think I am too, and I had said here earlier, good is good enough. And I have to say, Terry Francona is good is not good enough for him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is the difference between that. Now, whether they're going to be able to get over the hump, they've got TV revenue problems with whoever FanDuel bought out whoever it was before. And they do have legitimate problems as far as that.
Right.
But,
that's an MLB problem. I mean, they're gonna they need to iron that out.
Yeah.
Or figure what the hell they're going to do.
But it impacts payroll this year. Whether they were ever in the running or not, I don't know. But just the simple fact that they're even willing to say out loud they were going to try to go after Schwarber, it tells you that they're at least going to say we belong in these conversations. And, I think it's going to be fascinating to see. I mean, I'm hopeful that I can't believe McLean was the person we saw last year.
Mm-hmm.
I have to believe he's some earlier version of that. Mm-hmm. And, Ellie made huge strides last year. He really did in terms of, maturity and consistency and playing. So, if Hunter comes back healthy, we've got the pitching.
What is the contract situation with Francona? Do we have him?
I think for a couple. I think it was a 3-year deal originally when he signed, and I think Tito's here until he's not having fun anymore.
Right. Until that boat chair gets a little wobbly.
Yeah. But that dude came in here and changed the.
Totally.
He was the
mindset.
Difference. Yes. Yeah.
The attitude.
Because that was basically the same baseball team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know they didn't get out of the wild card round and whatever, but they were over 500. But their play, they didn't go on those 10, 12, 14-game losing streaks.
No. That was a tall order to go up against the Dodgers in the first round.
Yeah, and the opening, against that team that won it all. And look at that lineup. That's crazy. So, I am cautiously optimistic. I'm I had fun I thought it was a fun last season, and
Absolutely.
I think it'll be a fun season coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Because I was so disappointed in the Bengals season. To have not just a good offense.
Right.
that offense the Bengals rolled out there this year was elite. And you know how you see it is when a guy like Joe Burrow goes down and old man Flacco comes in, and they didn't lose those games that Flacco was playing because of Flacco.
Right. No.
They could have at least been 500 if they'd had a top 20 defense.
Yeah. I laughed my ass off when, classic Bangs move when, 4th and 1, they pull the young kid and they send in the old man to shove his ass, shove the old man 1 yard and then get him out.
By the way, against the team that sent him down here.
That's right.
I mean, let's be clear. Cleveland sent him to a division rival.
Yeah.
And if the Bengals had done if the three of us would have suited up on defense, I feel like we could have gotten them through 2 more of those games and they would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah. Definitely the Bears game. I don't know. My God, that was ridiculous.
What about the Jets game?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Was it 39-38 against the Jets? The 3-win Jets?
Jets, I know.
Oh.
And what's going on with the Bearcats, man? The basketball team.
I honestly, I think it's being,
are they going to take him out?
I don't know.
Ooh, the coach?
Yes.
You talking now football or basketball?
Basketball.
Basketball.
I mean, I've been watching. Have you been watching those games? Like if they've been on?
Yeah.
They just that's a storied. That's a proud historical history right there that just feels like it's. I
believe this whole NIL thing is affecting them in basketball like it is in football.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think these people who can figure it out. I mean, look at the SEC dominated everything in football for years, and now they're it's just changed the world. And I think getting a coach in there that figures out how to play that game.
Are you all in? You got some Hoosier hats and jerseys hanging around the farm you're like.
I wish I had gone to see a game. I'm kind of excited for them, though.
Yeah,
I have to say, I think that would be very cool.
Yeah,
if they could pull that off. You guys, changing topics here a little bit, but you guys went to the SCPA Alumni Day. Did you guys have any thoughts on your time? We were all three.
You were missed, man.
I know. We got us up on the stage, and we were going to impart some wisdom to the youth, and I had got called out of town. So, but I think you guys acquitted
I don't know about you, Ron, but I felt like a dinosaur. I felt like one of Joe Burrow's dinosaur bones.
Really? No, I mean, I really didn't. It was, number one, it's important. I think it's important to span as many eras as you can.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, because.
Did they have people like a moderator asking you questions? Or
yes.
Yes.
Which was news to me when I was there, because I guess they had an old email or something, but I was able to get briefed on that. Beforehand, but
yeah. So it was Tim and I, and then everyone else. They were the other three
2017 grads.
Yeah, the other three panelists were the same year.
Yeah. Oh,
so in the teens,
2 of you from '86.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you leapt forward.
Yeah.
That was a T-Rex. Rex.
Yep. No, I mean, if anything, if we could have had more representation across the 50 years, I think that would have been great. But,
and that can happen. I think that can, I don't, whoever
moving forward, that's certainly something. Yeah, that's certainly something we can help them to work on.
Had they taken questions from the students, or they did questions?
And that's what I was about to say. I was actually surprised at the depth of the questions that came from the students.
True that.
There were some that were, very, very pointed, very specific, but then there were others that were, I don't want to say philosophical, but they just they lended themselves, to getting an answer that, that just kind of helped them on a broad level rather than, most time I was expecting very me type questions from
it would have come from me at that age.
Yeah, but these were. It was very, 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 very good questions.
Yeah. Also, for me, noticing the impact on influencers. the influencers are that dynamic that is very prevalent, obviously, in current day. Of the couple of most of the other folks on the stage, that was there.
Are these kids like thinking about pursuing a career in the arts or pursuing a career to become famous?
I think that's an excellent question, Rex, and I would say it's a combination.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, one of the questions was, what famous people have you met?
Oh, like straight up to your autograph book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but
then you had other questions.
Yeah.
Actually,
somebody asked you about sound, Ron. They
right,
and that was
yeah. So they were asking industry related. It was like I said, there was the one question: who have you met? Or what famous people have you met?
Hopefully, you were able to answer with some SCPA alumni, people who sat basically in those seats where you were. I know some of them.
Well, they didn't ask me, or that would have been my response.
I think Kamala Harris got some oohs and ahs and squeals.
And I tell you, that's probably when I would have felt like the dinosaur. Because I would have been up, Neil Armstrong, and they were like, who?
Yeah.
Honestly.
I met that monkey that they launched into space on Sputnik.
Truthfully, too, man, like, I don't know if you would have dropped some of those SCPA alums, if they would know who they were. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would do it again, but I also know that, when that 9-year-old, for me, wanted different things than that 10 or 11-year-old out there now wants. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, and with not being judgmental, but just also kind of understanding kind of that new norm.
The NatiCast is supported by Mad Cheese. Mad Cheese is a completely plant-based, dairy-free cheese and charcuterie shop located in Madisonville. The owners, Cincinnati natives Heather and Reggie Donaldson, handcraft over 30 different plant-based cheeses and meats in their commercial production kitchen behind the storefront. You're invited to stop in and sample the wide array of products, book a curated tasting, or sign up for the new subscription box program, which will feature an exclusive new cheese every month with recipes and board building tutorials. For more, head to Instagram and Facebook at Mad Cheese Cincy or go to www.madcheese.com. And with that, back to the show.
Well, because and that's actually why I asked the question, because I was sitting here thinking back, and, I can't necessarily tell you what I wanted, but, and I whatever I was doing on the technical side, I don't know that you ever become famous the way those kids would know you were famous, but what I wanted was to be a part of it, right? To participate in it. Not necessarily for fame, but because I really enjoyed being a part of some version of the arts. And I was just curious whether these kids, because they're so impacted by, you mentioned influencers and things like that, people who have become famous. And quite frankly, unlike in our day, these kids could become famous tomorrow, right? The right TikTok video hits or something, and boom, you're known tomorrow. So the idea, then just even the notion of becoming famous, and it's not even that, Tim Barker didn't want to be a movie star, but I just don't know whether that was necessarily in the trajectory. Tim Barker wanted to be an actor. Yeah. And as an actor, maybe you would become a movie star at some point in time, but the focus was being an actor, not being a movie star. And I'm just wondering whether, with the perceptions the way they are, is there focus on fame, or is there focus on...
I feel like the operative word you left out there, though, Rex, was working actor. So that, there's... And I think, yes, fame is high on their high in that realm. But I don't know if that's not to their fault, that in the sense that Gal was asking about makeup. She had approached afterwards when kind of some of the kids were coming up, and she's like, I really love doing makeup and I want it for my YouTube channel. So it's kind of like, how do I apply this craft, which is a craft, to apply makeup? But then how do I use my influence or social media to then get that out into the universe kind of deal? So
yeah, I'm with you. Well, remember the young man asked me about the aha moment. What was my aha moment when I was at SCPA? What was that moment when
some kid asked you that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was asking about the aha moment. And I was a little bit stunned. I was a little bit taken aback. I was going, wow, and it was just a fantastic question.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
What was your aha moment? And, and I was like, holy cow. But yeah.
What was your answer to that?
Well, I think that's what I told him. It's like, for me, it wasn't necessarily an aha moment as much as it was a series of aha moments. And the fortunate part was I was in this school and I could always walk around and find someone to help me take any of those aha moments and put them into practice, move them into action. And I think that's when I encourage them all. There's absolutely no reason for you to walk out of the doors of this school without having studied everything. If you're in tech, study music. Why wouldn't you? If you're in, if you're in music, study tech. If you're in dance, why wouldn't you study art? Or, so that was my big thing was, encouraging them to study absolutely everything they can. Yeah. And then I turned around and we had been there before. Tim and I were actually there before for that small group alumni thing.
Which that was huge. And Rex, you need to make that happen, Rex. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ron, but
no, go.
For the gala that's happening next week, that Steve Hamilrath is hosting, emceeing. He put that together, and that was amazing. I mean, like that
hell of an idea.
That opened my eyes to what is going on at the school in real time. Seeing these kids, seeing these classrooms, huge, man. And I've been reaching out to others to try and organize other of those. I don't know what you call them, small event tours or whatever.
Whatever it is, yeah. But during that's when another fellow alum, Ken Gibson, in talking to the principal and talking to the head of the SCPA fund. Okay. How do we get from where we are now to getting to the point where any student that attends this school can get lessons in any area that's, of the school? And turns out that may not have been going on for a while, and that's something they're trying to get back to. And that's basically where that part of the answer came from. And I think I even told them we had that thing. There are people here working behind the scenes to make sure that everybody in this building can study anything in this building that they want to study.
Well, because I think the thing you mentioned, I was trying to sit and think, and I probably was a little bit different in that I don't know whatever with who my parents were and exposure, but I do think there comes a point in everybody's time as they're growing up and probably deciding to go to college, and this probably doesn't really matter field, but specifically in the arts, where at least back for us, I think you had to come to some sort of a belief in yourself that it was possible, that this is possible. Like whatever is happening out there in the world that you don't have the exposure to as much as you, even coming out of a school like that, as you'd want, you think, I think I could do that. And nowadays with the internet and social media and all of this stuff, they do know it's possible. So it's them trying to ask the questions like they asked you, Tim, which is smart questions. Hey, I do this and I see that there's these avenues to pursue. How do I take my craft, funnel it into something on a YouTube video, for example, where I can, maybe follow this as a career. So it's just a different mindset, because I think for all of us, and coming from different backgrounds, as well, and you certainly saw with you hear it from a lot of the alumni who I've ever spoken to coming back and saying, especially kids who had no exposure to it at all, where they come there and they see this and they participate in this and they go, I could actually do this, right? This is actually something, would you watch a TV show or whatever it is that, that you could actually do it. I think that flipping that switch on is such an important one.
On that very note, what I was shocked, they have a harp program. They have a harp teacher. I need to get his name, but I had a fascinating half-hour talk with him on Alumni Day. These students, the student who was our guide, harp was his major. I mean, that's like, I couldn't believe
amazing.
it. And then I learned that this is a in-demand need. That harpists, seriously,
every dream sequence in every movie, you need the harp.
Not only in the tri-state area, but play for weddings, for not only orchestras, but I mean, like,
and
the
think
demand,
about the barriers to entry to learning to play that particular instrument.
Totally.
In addition to being difficult to play, just the expense and sheer size,
the expense of buying the thing,
exactly. I'm assuming when their kids are not buying it, but arranging to have time on the instrument.
Sure.
Yeah.
But my eyes were wide open on that. I could not believe it. I was like, oh my God! Like, did we have harps when we were there? I don't even think so.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't think there was a harp. Did
we?
We most certainly did. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do you know who played one, Ron? This will be the.
Was it one of the Riemenschneiders?
Oh my Dang,
God.
man!
Do you think you might be?
You really nailed it there, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
That's a mic drop moment right there. Just mic drop.
But yeah, I don't remember which one, but there was a couple, and I don't remember their first names.
How about that?
Whether it was Kathleen and Diane, actually, I think. So I think it was Diane that was the harpist that played the harp. Yeah. But yeah,
wow.
So we did have harp. It was, but no, it was an interesting day. I was certainly glad to be asked to be a part of it. It was neat. Unfortunately, I had to bail as soon as we had to shut the panel down. I had to be out the door.
And on that note.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll probably tap out, but we do have the gala coming up. I'm looking forward to it. You said
yes.
It's our day. So we talked about this, I think, after it last time, and we had, I think, Carter and then eventually Rocky as well as guests, right? We interviewed Carter right after it was being honored. This year it's Daryl Miller. Well, gentlemen, I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. I will see.
Likewise.
You're in town next week?
Yes,
TV?
I'm in on Thursday, out on Sunday.
Okay, great.
Wow, quick hit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Tracy's coming as well?
Yes. Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
In the words of Bill Meredith, 30.
Oh, gosh.
All right, guys.
The NatiCast is proudly brought to you by Pago Lago Productions. This show is hosted by Tim Barker, Rex Stull, and Ron Thomas. Produced and edited by Matthew Lake and associate produced by Ethan Spanja. Special thanks to Sadie Kern at Pop Gun Flow for the graphics and to Brando Triantafilu for the original theme song. Feel free to follow us at _NatiCast on Instagram or head to our website, thenaticast.com. You can get this show wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you next time.